I'm Dottie, Stitchingscottie, and this is one of my Scotties, Striker. Welcome to our video about counter cross stitch and a little bit about Scotties, but not much. Today is August the 16th, 2025, and it's Saturday. It's hot, but not as hot as it was, so that's a good thing. Striker's gonna get his treat. And then we have Winston, my other Scottie. He's a little camera shy. But welcome, welcome. He would just like to say, get on with the cross stitch. And I want my treat. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we hope you'll like and subscribe to this video. Hope you'll see something you like. We got some market things to show today. We've got 2 FFOs. I would have finished, but I left it. Well, it's secret stitching, so I can't show it yet. And then we also have, I have a new start. I left that at home. So there's a little bit of stitching not here today, but we've got a couple of free patterns, and I hope you'll enjoy. So just sit back and we'll get started as soon as I give the dogs a treat. And somebody asked me, do you really give your dogs treats? And today we get the big ones. So we get the little pork chews. There you go, boys. Thank you so much for your tolerance for that. I appreciate it. As you can tell, I'm camping in the mountains of Western North Carolina, which is my home, my original home, but now I live in South Carolina, upstate South Carolina. And I just hope you see something you like, because we've got a lot to talk about. First of all, I'm going to show my book of days. It's a little boring because I don't have any stickers in it yet, but yeah, I couldn't find any I liked. So this is what I've got. And I noticed something this month. It says, the quote says, most folks are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. And that's by Abe Lincoln. How true it is. Yes, I'm enjoying the book of days because it's very compact and easy to keep up with. But this week, I've stitched on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. Yeah, but I don't have all 5 with me, of course. Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about is our free patterns, because I forgot them one time and I'm trying to play makeup just a little bit. Okay, the first one we have is from October House Fiber Arts. Yeah, it's hard to say. And in fact, they're both from October House Fiber Arts. And the first one is Hello Fall. It's 77 by 33. And this is just a digital picture, but is that not the cutest little squirrel? I think it's just too cute. So I will link that below. The next one I have is called Twirl. And this is Bonnie Annie 2025 is what it's called. And it's Twirl. It's very patriotic. I should have found that one earlier, but I didn't. Sorry about the glare. So I will link those below. You go to the same, okay. I think I need to call this the stop and go video. Phone call. Had to take it. All right. Anyway, those are free patterns. I will link those below. And it's October House Fiber Arts. Holy moly. Goodness, you'd think I could get that right. Okay, next, let's talk about my FFOs, or fully finished objects. Okay, first of all, I would have had 3, except I had a little disaster with the glue. And I had nothing to do with it, except evidently the top was not on my Eileen's glue very well. And when I carried it up here to the campground, it came out in the bag and spilled all over everything. But thank goodness it did not spill on my stitched items, which were also in the bag. It only ruined 3 skeins of floss, so that was good. But it ruined all the red floss, so I didn't have enough red to go with the green, and it's like 25 minutes, 20 minutes into town to get floss. And I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. So anyway, from the 12 days of Christmas stockings that I'm doing the stitch along, which Karen, the stitching owl, has just run circles around, stitched circles around me. It was hashtag 12 days of Christmas stockings Sal. And it still is if you want to join. And this is stocking number 2. This is 2 turtle doves. And I got my little hanger, and I got my trim that I made today and put on. For some reason, DMC Cording and I, yeah, we have issues. But Bona Pfeiffer has the best new tutorial of how to do it, and you don't have to have somebody to help you. You can do it by yourself. And it's awesome. So I used 8/16 and 5/01, and I used 2 strands of each and then wound them together. But I think that's so pretty. I love it. Then the next one I finished was 3 French hens. And I think so far, I think this was my favorite. But I got the same trim, the same colors. So now I've got 3 of my 12 days of Christmas stockings finished and fully finished. Number 4 would have been fully finished today, except, like I said, I had no red. So I'm going to use some Dawn to see if I can get the glue out of my bag. The skeins of floss, they're a total loss. So, but that's okay. It's just DMC. All right. So those are my two fully finished objects. Like I said, my finish was, it's a secret stitch, and I'll have to show you that later after it's gifted to the person that it's supposed to go to. It's going to the framer soon, so, or at least I hope it will. I don't know if I'm going to frame it or if it's going to go to the framer. I might frame it. It depends. But anyway, it's really pretty, and it's by Sweet Wing Studio, so I hope she likes it. There were several of us that stitched on it. Okay, then my next thing I want to talk about are my WIPGO stitches. Everybody voted last time about my summer stitch. You know, should I use Matilda Drives the Stitchy Bus? And that's this one I got from StitchCon in 2023. Or should I find something that says summer on it, or summery? And it was unanimous that I should do Matilda, because StitchCon's in the summertime. And this is how much I got done on it. I had to do some unstitching, and then I had to go back and stitch some more. So I'm working on the car. I just got to get, and I've got the word bus, and I had to make some adjustments up here and take some stuff out because somewhere I miscounted. Yeah. But it's on 28 count, even weave, and it's, I think, a Cashel. It could be Lugana. I can't tell the difference hardly. But anyway, it was something I had in my stash, and I'm using 2 strands of DMC over 2. And I do not have the cheap color, so I have substituted a color for it. And I will let you know what that is. All right. Okay, and the next thing I stitched on, I've stitched 2 days out of 4 on that. And you know, I'm supposed to stitch 4 days. This is going to be a finish because I think she's so cute. Okay, then the next thing I stitched on, of course, was my 5 days of Christmas stockings. Let's see if I can do this without showing anything. There we go. 5 days of Christmas stockings, and it's 5 gold rings. Okay, you're gonna look at this and you're gonna go, but you didn't stitch anything. Yes, I did. It looks like I unstitched, and that's all I did. But I unstitched a lot. I found a mistake way back, and for some reason I'm having a hard time stitching on this fabric with just this particular pattern. The rest of it I've done really well with. But see, the rings have disappeared, 2 of them, and so now we're starting back because all this was wrong, and I had to take all that out. I had almost 3 rings done. Yeah. And then after I got it out, I only had time to do that. Ralph was home this week for a whole week, and we had a lot of things that we needed to catch up on and do. But these are 2 strands over 2 on 28 count black even weave that I got from Fat Quarter Shop a good while back. And I got enough to do all 12 of them. Yeah, because I wanted them all to look alike. So that was 5 days of Christmas, 5 golden rings. And this is also going for my WIPGO for the closest finish, because this is my closest finish if I ever get it finished. Here lately I've just been having issues with stitching ghosts and rings. Don't ask me what's up with that. All right, then the next thing, I had started the ABC School Sampler by Manny Dodonna, and this is for my daughter Amelia. She's a school teacher. She teaches English and literature in the 6th grade, and she seems to really like it. And as long as she likes it, I'm a happy mom. So I saw this and I thought, wouldn't that be cute to put in her classroom? Although I'm sure her students might not think so, but she could put it in her office at home. But I just thought that little school was just so, so cute. So anyway, this one is on, oh dear, 36 count. And I told you what it was last week and can't remember. But this is what I got done. I got a good bit done on this. Our campground is across the street from the Crusoe Fire Department. Yeah. Unfortunately, somebody has probably had an accident on the parkway or up the mountain. That is so sad. But anyway, it's 1 strand over 2 threads. And I got all the black done. I'll go back later and do the outlining, the back stitch for the letters. That's why it looks so funny. But I'm working on the schoolhouse right now. And I'm ready to start on the windows after I get the tower done. But I'm using sulky threads. And I've noticed with the sulky threads, it's the 12 count weight, or 12 weight. And I'm just going to show you one. They're on spools like this. Okay, it's 12 weight cotton petites is what they're called. And I've noticed that I've had problems with it knotting up on me. So what I did was I do this with DMC sometimes. I don't use a lot of waxers or anything, but sometimes I do. This is a soy wax conditioner, and it's Stitchy Scents. And this one is from the Cottage Cat, and it's called Cranberry Woods. And you just unscrew the top, and you can see I've had some indentions. I just lay it across and drag it across once. I'm not getting sick. It's just there's some kind of weed or something. I believe it must be ragweed, excuse me. And yeah, and I just drag it through there, and it really cuts down on the twisting and the knotting. So this is a lifesaver, and you can get this online, and I will link that below also. And you can also get it at some of your local needlework shops. I saw it at Welcome Stitchery. I know that Nonstop Stitching has it, and so far I think those are the only 2 I've noticed that have this. But I love this. I think it's fabulous. But you can also get it online. Okay. All right. So that's all my stitching for this week that I can show you. So I do apologize. And once again, Dolores is at home, but I'm gone. And this weekend we had like a birthday, and then I had company coming from Florida to visit. So I had to squeeze y'all in a little bit. So I didn't have any more room for any more company. So Dolores couldn't come. But hopefully we'll get together again soon. And thank you for those of you that ask about Dolores. All right, let's see. What else do I have? Oh, I've got an upcoming sale with Niecy Lynn and Patty Penn. Now, Niecy Lynn, I'm sure y'all are familiar with because I mentioned her name a good bit. And Patty Penn's too. They both have Flosstubes, and you need to watch those. Niecy Lynn, she's got some really pretty stitching, and She's got some nice finishes, and I know her patriotic display was just wonderful. So she changes that out a lot, so be sure and look for that. But it's just Niecy Lynn on Flosstube. And then Patty Penn, if you want to know anything about anything that's going on with the Rocky Mountain Sampler Guild, or, which I'm a member of, or just stitch-alongs, or, you know, just happenings, be sure and watch Stitching with My Kitties. That's Patty Penn. And she tells you where to get the pattern for the sow and the floss and everything. She's so informative. And she started working with resin, and I think that's quite interesting. And she's been making scissor fobs, zipper pulls, and she even made a project bag for this cruise she's getting, a stitching cruise that she's getting ready to go on with Fox and Rabbit and I think Jean Farish. Yeah. And she's doing the Biscornu and stuff. But anyway, getting back to the point, we're doing we're hosting a stitch along, and I meant to write down what the sow was. Oh dear. I'll have to tell you what the hashtag is. But we're doing this Liberty Eagle, 1776 Liberty Eagle. Isn't that beautiful? I got this at the attic, and it's by Screen Door Needleworks. And I'm like Patty Penn. I said, well, you know, I don't do this very often. I'm going to do mine probably on 40 count, and it'll be about 6.5, a little over 6.5 by 5. But this is, they could kit it up with hand-dyed silk, 100.3 soie d'Alger, or Tudor silks. And I got the Tudor silks because I've never stitched with Tudor silks. And I think these are really pretty. Our stitch along starts, this is a Gloriana thread also. Our stitch along starts September the 15th. So be sure and call the attic and order your pattern at least. And you can either use your, you can use your own floss, pick your own colors if you want to, or you can get them to kit it up for you and just buy the pattern. You can get your fabric there if you want, but I'm just going to use fabric out of my stash because I have some 40 count naturals, and oh goodness, and hopefully, you know, it's going to be really fun because I think this is a beautiful, beautiful pattern, and I've never stitched any of her patterns before, so yeah. All right, and that's going to be probably, I'll change something up, and that'll be for my 13 for the 250th sow. Who knows? Which I've not worked on that this month, and I need to. Shame on me. Okay, the next thing is I also, when I was talking about Matilda Rides the Stitchy Bus, make sure that you watch Chrissy, Finally a Farm Girl, and Stitchy Linda on her Flosstube, because she has some beautiful, beautiful designs coming out, which I'm going to show you in the Needlework Market preview. Goodness, where are words? This video. Okay, and the Harvest Moon Zoom retreat kind of thing. It's with Lindy Stitches, and it's September the 19th through the 21st, and the tickets are $10. And be sure and go on and get one, because you're going to meet lots of sweet, sweet stitchers. You'll see lots of different things, and you know, it's just a great opportunity. So hopefully you can go to that. All right, let's start with our Needlework Market and see what we got. Okay, when is Needlework Market? I almost missed it. I tell you, I've just been kind of out of it these days. And Needlework Market is August 22nd, next weekend. Can you believe it? But it's not too late to put your orders in with your local needlework shop, or to go online and pick something. Where did I put that? Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. And these are the dates. Okay. Ooh, that glare. It's not good. Okay. All right. First thing is from Chrissy, Finally a Farm Girl, and I think this is the cutest little reindeer. North Pole. Now, let's see. There we go. Isn't he cute? It looks a little frightened, though. And look at that cute little red bird. Then we have Mr. and Miss Claus here. I think this one's called, well, I don't know what it's called. I forgot. But that's very cute. They're getting ready to have a cup of hot cocoa before he goes on his ride. This one is one of my favorites. Sleepy Hollow. Look at that. Doesn't that look spooky? I love it. Then we have In the Meadow We Can Build a Snowman. So cute. The bears are building a snowman. And she's got, this is not a good picture either, and I apologize. It's a witch and a little mouse and a pumpkin. So cute. And then, welcome to the patch. We've got Matilda Mouse and a guy. So cute. And they're there with their turkey, their pumpkin pie, and the crow. So that's some of hers. Then we go on to Jan Hicks. She's got Winter Wonderland. And I just thought that was really pretty and unusual because it's got a pocket for the scissors. Really pretty. And then we have Grateful for Everything, because you know that Thanksgiving's coming up. And those little squirrels are grateful for every living thing. Or every little thing. And then this one's from Susan from Sweet Wing Studio. This is Mrs. Claus's Cookies. Poor Miss Claus, she doesn't get much attention, you know, because Santa Claus gets it all, because he delivers presents. But it says, Mrs. Claus with a twinkle and cheer keeps her cookie jar very near. With sugar and spice in every bite, she fills it with love each winter night. Isn't that cute? So cute. Then we have Stay Cozy by Sweet Wing Studio. We have Christmas Swan by Lucy Beam. And you saw that beautiful swan birth sampler that Olivia, the Southern Yankee Stitcher, stitched for her granddaughter. It's gorgeous. This might be good to put like on, I don't know, something else in her room. She can make her maybe a swan tooth fairy pillow or something. I don't know. Okay, and then we have, I love this one, Silver Creek Samplers. When I said I do, I didn't mean the laundry. Look at that. And it's on a washboard. I apologize for the glare. So cute. I hadn't seen that one until I was looking it up. Then we have P is for Pumpkin, Yasmin's Made with Love. And I thought this was cute. You could either do the little pillow or you could do the whole picture. Ouch. The bugs are getting me. Okay, then we have Acorn Thieves by Quaint Rose Needle Arts. And there's 4 different items. There's an acorn needle book, and then there's 3 pillows. Too cute. We have Reindeer Bauble, Merry Christmas by JBW Designs, and it's so cute. I love the reindeer. She sure does know how to do all those reindeer. Then Erica Michaels has Thanks and Giving, and it says, let our lives be full of thanks and giving. So pretty. Then this was the most unusual Halloween thing with ghosts, because the ghosts are black, or you can do them in white, but for some reason the ghost in black, they just looked really creepy. I don't know, maybe they cleaned out the chimney, who knows. But anyway, it says, Boo, Ghosting to Town. Look at that. Too cute. And then, you know, Liz Matthews did the star, that Winter Wonderland star last year. This year we got a Quaker Christmas star from Hello from Liz Matthews. There must really be something bad up on the mountain. Holly Wreath by Hello from Liz Matthews and Kathy Barrick. I love that cardinal in the wreath. Just, really nice. Then, something you could use for Valentine's Day if you're not, like, if you don't have a Valentine, you know, or a sweetheart. It says, Love Lives Here in Lace-Edged Homes. Anybody could put that in their house, or it would make a nice housewarming gift. Nice decorations. Then we have Bird and Berry Tart by Blueberry Ridge. I love that one. I think he's so cute. And then this was, let's see, Strawberry Basket, Pin Keep, and Scissor Fob by Pansy Patch. Isn't that pretty? Then we have, I love this one. You know, raccoons, they're all the time getting into everything. And this is called Snack-O-Lantern by Boomerang Stitches. Okay, I apologize for all the sirens. I really do. Okay, Olivia, you need this. You need this. And I tell you, she has a granddaughter that loves sharks. It says Great White Christmas by Boomerang Stitches. Look at that. Olivia, if you don't buy this pattern, I don't know. She needs this. Then we have Silver Creek Samplers. Love is the needle that can mend and help bring comfort to a friend. I think that's so pretty. And we also, this was a hoot. Now, you know I have dogs, and I can't have cats because I'm very, very allergic. But this one says Wreck the Halls, because I hear all these horror stories about everybody's cat in their Christmas tree or, you know, something like that. Look at this cat. Has he had a fun time? Oh my goodness. Okay, Noel Ornament Sampler by Samplers and Primitives. I just thought this was beautiful. All Christmassy. And you wouldn't have to do all of it. You could just do the house and the Noel. You know, especially if you don't like Quakers or if you don't want something that big. Then another thing by Erica Michaels is Good Tidings. It's a pillow and a strawberry. Isn't that pretty? Ouch. The mosquitoes are eating me alive. Wilding Hill Manor by Little Robin Designs. I thought that was very spooky. And then these are the cutest. And I know Chrissy Java Girl, she went crazy over them because, you know, she loves her pink Halloween, but she's even starting to get into orange now. So I'm like, But Tiny Modernist, look at those. Aren't those pretty and spooky? Then we have Patchwork Pumpkins by Yasmin Made with Love. And I thought those were really, really pretty. And then JBW Designs had Autumn Harvest. Oh, wait. Sorry. I thought those were cute with the cats playing among the pumpkins. And then you had a sneak peek of Where Flowers Bloom, So Does Hope from Silver Creek Samplers. So pretty. That's a good summer stitch. I might have to get that. Then we have Count Your Blessings by Sweet Wing Studio. Count them one by one. Isn't that beautiful? And Autumn Trio by With Thy Needle and Thread or Brenda Gervais. We have a cute fox, a squirrel, and an owl. And you can put them all together or you can put them separate. She's been doing the trios. And then we have Strong and Courageous by Sweet Wing Studio. She had this one as a fundraiser for quite some time. I know when she was at Stitch, Florida, she was using that for a fundraiser for a little boy. Gift of October Biscornu by Heartstring Samplery. Isn't that a cute Biscornu? I might just have to have that. I'm going down the Biscornu rabbit hole. Then Bluebird Sampler from the Scarlet House. That one's pretty. And then we have Blueberry J by JEDX Stitch. And I've never heard of them until I saw them on Lindy Stitches. And remember, if you're not watching Lindy Stitches, you need to watch her to see lots and lots of stitching goodness on Marketplace. And then, of course, I can't leave out Teresa Kogut, Bittersweet Farm by Teresa Kogut. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, goodness, the glare. And we have Dream Big by Tiny Modernist. We've got all these books, a house, flowers. I just thought that was very unusual, but very pretty. And Up in the Cherry Boughs by Mojo Stitches. And lots of pretty birds. And then, of course, it's time for We Santa 2025 by Heart and Hand. Christmas is coming. That one is cute. Look at those snowmen. And this one I liked because it was very unusual. It's called Christmas Drum Set by Twin Peak Primitives. Look at Santa and the drum. Cute, cute, cute. All right. And then we have, I think that's it. Yep, that's it. So anyway, there's lots more, but that's a whole bunch. And I didn't mean to make it go on so long. But anyway, I hope you'll tune in with us next weekend. And we'll see about Needlework Market. And, you know, maybe you can tell me your favorite thing that you wanted, well, something that you just had to get from Needlework Market. So why don't you comment below and say, I just had to have such and such from Needlework Market. So mine was the Sleepy Hollow by Chrissy, Finally a Farm Girl. I thought that was just my favorite. All right, until next week. If you don't start it, you can't finish it. And happy stitching.